So I'd ask you, if you want to, you can use the block to sit on. Otherwise, on the floor, on a chair, wherever you would like to sit to begin with. So movement even is possible from all of those places when we begin. Taking yourself into the usual wiggle and shuffle when we come to sit, and especially in the morning, when the body hasn't moved very much yet, it kind of takes a moment to be recognized, let's say. See if you can center yourself very carefully over the sit bones once you've completed. And maybe notice how difficult this appears to be. Or maybe that first judgment isn't quite right. So let's reach for our knees and then just sink into the back. Maybe tucking the chin in a little as you round it. You might feel a bit of lengthening coming through your back, but that's not why we're here. Imagine you've got a string attached right there to the back of your neck. And as you take a breath in, feel a lift coming from the back of the neck, pulling you upright. And from that upright position, then lifting the head up. And once you are sitting nice and tall, start to squeeze your shoulder blades together. Just move your elbows back and squeeze them back. And then let that go and just rest the hands down upon your thighs. Now, if you like, you can close the eyes. And if that's a bit challenging this morning, no excuses needed. Just keep the gaze steady somewhere, if that's possible amongst the distractions. So once you've got that, let's notice the sit bones on the ground and whatever else touches the surface you're sitting on. Maybe you feel a little bit more centered without that much effort. Despite nice and tall. Begin now to breathe right down into the belly and look at it like these huge Buddha bellies that are expanding on the in-breath. And I'd ask you to gently switch the lower abdominal muscles on with an attempt to draw them down towards your tailbone when you're exhaling. That's a light switch on. It's just a direction that might give you a slight tilt in the pelvis. But other than that, switches on the pelvic floor muscles as well. Let that go at each inhale and the belly comes back out, and on the exhale, we're drawing it back in. And those of you who have plenty to do with just that, you are welcome to stay with it. Otherwise, expand the breath further. Take it from the belly to the ribs, to the collarbones, full yogic breathing, then activate the lower belly, then let the ribs come in, and then the upper chest. So either full yogic breathing or just belly breathing and a gentle activation of the tummy muscles. Well, with that, and if that's not enough for you this morning, you can add that light constriction in the back of the throat and making the ujjayi sound, a narrowing of the air passage as you breathe. Allowing, when you're next inhaling, to take an extra sip of air and then pause and then breathe out slowly again. We'll do that just twice more. We're inhaling fully, taking another sip of air, and then breathing out from the belly again. Last round. So once you've completed this very last breath, you can still choose to stay seated on your support. I will remove mine because that gives me a greater range of movement, and in general, that's what we're going to do. We're moving a bit. So place your hands back upon your knees and just start to circle around. begin to move your shoulders as if you are shrugging something away from the shoulders. And I bet we can all find stuff that's lying there quite heavily. And then pause when you're leaning forward. Press down into your knees. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Start to lift from the sternum. Then lift through your chin if your neck allows you to, and roll your eye gaze up and take a deep breath in this back bend. And then when you're breathing out, go in the opposite direction as you keep a hold of your knees and lean back into the back, same as we did before. Attach the string again to the back of your neck as you're lifting upright into a seated position. Taking your fingertips now behind the head or even interlacing the hands here. And as you're breathing out, just turning to the side where the leg is in front. On the inhale, center again, and then turn to the other side as you're breathing out. Inhale, center, we'll repeat that. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist, and one more to each side. And as you center yourself again, you can choose to let go of your head and place the fingers down, or keep them there and just sliding your feet forward, keeping the ankles in a cross. We will lift the feet off the floor for a little boat interruption. Removing the hands from behind the head as you extend the arms forward. We're changing the cross of the ankles and bringing our feet back in with the hands again upon the knees as we're lengthening through the spine. Now beginning your circles again, but go in the opposite direction. You've forgotten how that works? Just check out which side you naturally go to and do the opposite. We will pause again in this round when we're coming forward. Pressing the hands down towards your knees, squeeze your shoulder blades together, start to lift through the sternum, the chin, roll the eye gaze up. And on the out breath to the opposite and round all the way into your back, tucking the chin in, deep stretch into the back. And release again as if there was that string attached to the back of the neck that draws us nice and tall. And we'll take another breath in to bring the hands behind the head. If you had an interlace, just swapping the finger on top. And we're twisting to the other side first, and we exhale. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, twist. 2 more to each side. And then as you come back into center, you can again release the hands or keep them there. We'll enter another boat as we might lift our feet off the ground. Releasing the hands from behind and extending the arms forward. Separating the feet. And then we will place the feet down onto the ground. Use the hands behind us, or if you've got a more gentle technique to stand up, feel free to use yours as you place your hands down. And then taking time to roll up into standing now. I'm pretty sure we're going to get warm now. So where we stand with our feet on the ground, the arms down long by the sides of the body. Take a breath in and reach your right arm up towards the sky. And when you're breathing out, bending sideways. Now we're holding here straight away, so be kind to yourself and maybe release that lower arm with a soft waving right up into the shoulder. And then on the next out breath, you might go a little bit deeper. We will release that by bending the knees, rolling arm and shoulder down and forward, and curling ourselves back up into standing. And when you then inhale, reach your left arm up towards the sky. And when you're breathing out, bending to the side. Lower arm, give that a wave. Let the shoulder move a little. Be soft in that arm. And then on the next exhalation, going even deeper, right over towards the side. Beautiful. Let's bend the knees again and roll our way all the way down towards the floor into a standing forward bend. And while you're inhaling now, lengthening the spine. And as you're breathing out, we will step both feet back into our first downward facing dog. I don't know about you, but mine still feels quite stiff. So let's move that for a moment. Bend your elbows, lift your hands, lift a foot, swing your hips, whatever you feel is right for you to do. And then as you take your next inhalation, let your knees come down onto the ground, untucking your toes. As we find our all four stands, we will take the breath in to extend the left leg back, extending out through the heel of the foot, then point, and as you're exhaling, draw your knee and nose together underneath. Landing the left knee down onto the middle of the mat, while we're lifting the right knee off the floor and lowering the right foot down. This is becoming a side plank as you take an inhale, lifting now the right arm up. Your choice of also extending the lower leg. If you want to go into a full side plank, please go ahead. Otherwise, just holding here, arm extended. Maybe the top leg is lifting. And then releasing the foot back down, releasing the hand back down. Lifting the body back up into a downward facing dog. And as you take your next inhale, just roll the spine forward and find your plank or kneeling plank. As we exhale, lower down onto the mat. Releasing the whole body down, resting the forehead down. Let the arms slide down alongside the body. A little morning wake up as you inhale, lifting the head, the chest, the legs, and the arms. And the breath out to lower back down onto the mat. On the inhale, lifting up again. On the exhale, releasing to the mat. Repeat for 3 more breaths. Lifting on the inhalation and lowering again on the exhalation. Once you've done that, we'll bring the hands back down by the sides, pushing up onto all fours. Tap the toes again, lift your knees once more, arriving back in a downward dog. Let's lift the left leg again, same leg. Reach out through the heel, inhale. Point the foot. And while you're breathing out, draw the knee into the chest, tuck your nose towards your knee. And then landing the foot forward between the hands. Sliding your right hand just underneath your shoulder. And when you're breathing in, collapse your whole lunge. Let the upper body relax, the knee bend. And when you're breathing out, then push the floor away. Come into a twisted lunge, the left arm reaching upwards. Now, while you might hold here, pull the left hip a bit back and extend out into the right heel. Now smile at your fingertips or your toes, depending on where you're looking towards. And then swing the upper arm down and place it to the inside of your front foot. Lowering the right heel down, Trikonasana. As you breathe in, lifting through the right arm. The left arm can reach all the way from the floor. You could keep your fingertips down, or you could rest your forearm upon your thigh. Starting to ground more through the feet, keeping your front knee in a bend, And aim for length throughout both sides of the waist. For further extension, bring a bend into your back knees, swing your arm towards the back foot, and while you're extending your leg again, the arm extends over the head. Palm of the hand might be facing down, and if you like, you could take a look up. Notice changes in your breath. And to release that, bringing the hands back down either side of the foot, lift through the heel, step the foot forward, and take an inhale for a half lift. On the out breath, folding forward. Now let's push into the floor and rise up into standing, reaching the arms up. And then we will drop the left arm down and bend right over to the side, and you can swing that arm across the body. Reaching back up with both arms, inhale, we'll change sides. Right arm swings down and can reach across the body as we're bending to the side. On the next in-breath, reach both arms up again. And a big out breath to fold forward. Inhaling, Ardha Uttanasana, half lift. And with the out breath, take your feet again into downward facing dog. As you arrive here, you can move the dog again as we did before, but maybe you're more comfortable in it. I would love to just reach out through the tailbone and up and back with it, so to find the spine in that more or less neutral but extended position. With the next inhale, then we'll bring the knees back down onto the floor. We'll untuck our toes and finding our all four stands once more. With the next inhale, it is the right leg that extends back and also out to the heel of the foot. We'll point the foot, and with the exhale, we'll draw the knee into the chest, the nose to the knee. Now landing this right knee down in the center of the mat, extending your left leg and grounding your left foot. And when you take an in-breath, lifting the left arm as we return into Vasisthasana or our side plank in a supported form. If you don't need the support, extend your lower leg as well. Once you've made your choice, there's the option of lifting the upper leg off the ground. As we land our foot again, we're swinging the arm back down onto the floor, lifting back up into a downward facing dog. On the next inhale, roll your spine forward, full plank or kneeling plank. And on your out breath, lower back down onto the mat. Forehead resting down on your chin and placing the arms alongside the body once more. This time, turn the hands around and touch the palms to the floor. Movement will be the same. On the inhale, lift head, chest, legs, and arms. On the exhale, release them. And then keep going, inhaling, lift to fly. Exhaling to release. Continue for 3 more rounds. Lifting on the inhale and lowering on the exhale. And once you've completed those rounds, you'll place the hands again down by the sides of your lower ribs. Pushing into the mat, tuck the toes and lift the knees for downward dog. From a down dog, right leg lifts again, breathing in, lead out through the heel, same as we did on all fours. And then point the foot as you exhale, bring the knee into the chest, tuck your nose towards the knee. And then aim with your foot between your hands. Sliding the left hand back to underneath the shoulder. And as you're inhaling, collapse the whole lunge. Back knee bend, upper body hanging there. And when you're breathing out, pushing the floor away, right arm is lifting for a twisted lunge. Now, while you're here, encourage the right hip back and do the same with the left heel. Gaze could be down with a subtle smile to your toes, or one smile up towards your fingertips if you're looking there. To release the shape, swing the arm down and place it on the inside of the foot. Lower your left heel for side angle or Trikonasana. As you take an inhale, the left arm is reaching up. Now the right hand could come way off the floor. You could even use your forearm on top of your thigh for support. While you're here, find your feet again. When you really notice them often collapsing down, and with that the knees and the whole legs aren't quite that solid. So engage here, and if you want more, take a bend into the back knee, swing your upper arm down, and then take it all the way above the head into the extended version. Your gaze could be up towards your fingertips as well. Beautiful. Let us release that. Bring the hands back down, lifting through the heel. We're stepping the foot forward. Half lift on the inhale. Full forward bend on the exhale. Now bend your knees rather deeply and swing the arms forward for a chair pose as we inhale. And then on the exhale, we're settling into that chair. So while your sit bones are wide open, the arms might reach forward. You're welcome to have the hands lower, arms bent, just taking care of your shoulders there. Taking a breath in. Have a big lion breath out. Just swing that forward. And inhale back into chair. Another lion. And one more lion breath, chair pose on the inhale, lion. On the exhale. And then from here, take an inhale, come to a half lift position. On the exhale, step your left foot back into a lunge. On the inhale, collapse the lunge. On the exhale, twist the lunge. On the next inhale, swing arm down, hand to inside. We're repeating. Rolling up into the side angle pose. But this time, we will push off the front foot, bringing a bend or keeping a bend in the knee, and warrior two as we arrive here. We're taking an inhale from there to straighten into the front leg. Tall standing triangle pose. And as you're exhaling, tilt it into Trikonasana, the triangle. Lengthening again through both sides of the waist. And there's once more the option of softening both knees as you swing your arm back and down, and then extending the arm over the head as you're lengthening again through both legs. Utthita Trikonasana, the extended triangle shape. We will release that all as we soften the posture. Hands come down either side of the foot. Lift the back heel, step it out into a downward facing dog. On an inhale now, roll the spine forward, coming into plank or kneeling plank. And on your elbows neatly by your sides as you land on the front of your body again. Once more, let your arms extend alongside the body. Bring the hands behind your back, interlace your fingers there. And then lengthen the arms down the back. You can squeeze the palms of the hands together. If that's not good for your shoulders, you can pull them apart. Now with the next inhale, lifting again, head, chest, maybe arms away from the back. And on the exhale, landing again I think you now know what's coming, so let's keep going. Inhaling, lift. Exhaling, lower. Go again. 3 more breaths, 3 more rounds to move like this. Lifting on the inhale, lower on the exhale. And this time, the last one you could hold. Holding the legs lifted, the chest, the arms maybe. Stay. And then releasing back down, hands landing by your sides. Push yourself back up onto all fours and sit towards the heels. Let your hands slide up towards the knees this time. And sit your hip over towards the left, like in the mermaid shape. The feet are over to the side. We'll take an inhale and reach the arms out, interlacing the hands or placing the fingertips behind the head. We've done that at the very beginning. Now, as you're breathing out, squeeze your elbow down in the direction of your feet. On the inhale, come back to sit. On the exhale, over towards the feet. Inhale, come to sit. Over towards the feet. And 2 more. As we come back to center, reach the arms up, place the hands back down in front, center your hips back towards the heels and extend into child's pose. On the inhale, come to all fours, tuck your toes under, out breath, a downward dog. Feel free to move or to hold still. On your next inhale, extending now the left leg up and back. And on the out breath, bring your knee in, your nose to the knee. And aiming with the foot between the hands. Just a simple lift up onto the fingertips as you're inhaling and lengthening forward. And when you're exhaling, step the foot to the front and into a forward fold. Let's bend our knees again and reach the arms forward into a chair shape. And when you're breathing out, settling into that chair. Let us open the arms up within the chair pose, right out towards the sides. Taking your right knee up and crossing the leg over for an eagle. Bringing your right arm underneath your left, as you might embrace your shoulders or touch the hands together. Finding your stillness as you release your shoulders downwards, the elbows are moving a little bit forward. You can even lean the weight a bit forward, but support yourself gently with the lower belly muscles. See if you can hold and pause. With your next in-breath, fly the arms out and lift your knee. And then land your foot and release your arms down. Accept how unbalanced you are and try and just stand without all the little things. And if you've done these little things already, just notice that you did. We'll take a deep breath in, reaching the arms out and up. Interlace your fingers this time, Charlie's Angels Mudra, index finger touching, and we're bending over to the right. Inhale, pull yourself up, and exhale, bending to the left. Breath in as you come to stand. Separate your feet a little bit further. We'll use that as a wood chopper. So while you're breathing out, bend your knees, chop your wood. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, chop. And 3 more. Keep going, just chopping down. Get some heat into the body. And once you've done your last one, stay down there. Release your hands. Slide your hands up your shins, lengthen forward for the half lift. And then as you're exhaling, stepping your right foot back. Right hand comes under as you inhale, collapse it. As you're exhaling, twist the lunge. As you breathe in, swing it back. Hands come to the inside, our side angle pose as you're reaching the right arm up. Make these little adjustments, come a bit off the floor, feel the length in the sides of the waist, the strength there. Instead of extending, we're pushing a bit more into the front foot, lifting ourselves up for warrior two shape. Arms can be facing up or down. Please feel into your shoulders. What can they do? Feeling the strength in the feet as we're inhaling to straighten our front leg. Tall standing triangle. And we'll give that a tilt for Trikonasana. The same applies here. It's important that the posture is stabilized, lifted arches, long, strong legs, lengthen the sides, open arms, and if you want more, bend both knees, swing the top arm back down, and while you're extending the legs again, the arm will reach over the head. And you can take a look up or keep your gaze down. Let us release the shape, bringing the hands down to the floor, lifting the heel, step it back into a downward facing dog. On the in-breath now, roll the spine forward, come into plank or kneeling plank. And on the exhale, lower back down onto the mat. Arms lengthen down, one more time, just by the sides of your body. If you want to repeat and keep your body long, when you're interlacing the hands behind the back, just changing all of your fingers as you lengthen the arms down. Some of you might want to go further. You can bend your knees, reach for your feet or your ankles, and work with the bow. We will hold this last one. It's not going to be a movement up and down. So while you're taking a breath in, lift the hips, the chest, the legs, and maybe the arms, or pushing your feet into your hands and just hold. Notice what happens with your breath. Noticing after all of these repetitions of moving up and down, how's the body responding now to the stillness? And is it able to be still or not? Hold for another breath, maybe lift a bit further. And then let that go and relax down onto the mat. We'll take a pause in child's pose. So using a forward bend, place the hands down by your sides, lift yourself back up and stretch towards the heels. You can curl yourself in if you like. It's not important to have the arms extended. And just allow yourself to feel the opposite direction in your spine. With your next exhalation, start rolling up towards sitting. And once you come to sit, let your hips drop over to the right side. So your feet on the other in comparison to before. Take a breath in, reach your arms out and up. Fingertips or interlaced hands behind the head. And as you're exhaling, draw your elbow in the direction of your feet. On the inhale, center. On the exhale, elbow towards your feet. 3 more. 2. And 1. And as you come back to center your hips as well. Stretch your arms forward into the child's pose. On the inhale, come to all fours. Tuck the toes under and breathe out for downward dog. If you're moving here, fine. If you're feeling steady, just focus on the length of the spine, including all of those natural curves and the support you might require by grounding through hands and feet. We're lifting the right leg up, inhale. On the exhale, bring the knee in, the nose towards the knee, and aim with your foot between your hands. Just rise to your fingertips while lengthening the spine on the in-breath, and step the foot forward as you're breathing out into a forward fold. Bend your knees, swing the arms into chair, and exhale to settle into this chair. Let's open the arms out on an in-breath, lifting your left knee off the ground, crossing the leg over the right, and the left arm crosses under the right, either to embrace the shoulders or to bring the hands back together. Soften shoulders down, keep elbows lifted, squeeze your legs, steady your gaze. Like you can lean a little bit forward, mindful that the lower abdominals are used to support yourself. With your next in-breath, lift the arms, lift the knee, then land the foot and release your arms down. Come to stand without adjustments. Notice them if you're already at them. Just stand. Feel the imbalance. The closing not quite right. No one's going to see that anyway. Accepting what is in this very moment as you unlock your knees, center your pelvis. Notice your resistance to stillness. And as you take your next inhale, just straight your arms up. Have one last lion breath down into a forward bend. Take a half lift while inhaling. And then basically come down to sit when you're exhaling. And let your legs come out long in front of you. You can have a bend in the knees if you like. You can support yourself with something underneath the sit bones. Your fingertips could be on the ground by the side. And you might want to shuffle the sit bones into their correct position. Lengthen up on the inhale. And you could use the fingertips on the floor to assist you as you breathe out to fold from your hips. Take your gaze in the direction of your toes. And either keep the hands there or release the arms by the sides of your legs. There's an option now to deepen the forward fold. And if that feels good, you can even lower the head down. If you can reach very comfortably for your feet, you could hold there. Or otherwise, the arms resting by the sides of the legs. It's just fine. Reminding yourself that the beginning was a full yogi, if not even an ujjayi breath. And if that gotten lost in the practice, step back into it. Allowing yourself to lengthen down. Three more breaths. After the third breath, Just lift about halfway out. That will be a different spot for every single person. And while we come from there with the straight spine again into our staff pose, upright seated position, we will take our left hand and place that against the knee. Keep your legs long, the feet parallel. And while you're taking an inhale, then stretch the right arm back and even follow it with the gaze. If you like, you can land the right fingertips to the floor. In your mind's eye, you will watch that the feet are parallel as you encourage yourself to twist a bit more. Then release this twist and softly come to the front. We'll repeat that on the other side. So the back of the right hand goes against the knee. Take another look at the feet and what does that feel like? And as you're inhaling, extending the left arm back, following that with your gaze. Either keep it here or land your fingertips to the ground and go a bit deeper into the twist. While you hold, your feet remain in that same parallel position. And then soften the shape. Unless you need anything for a Shavasana, reach your arms forward. In that case, you would grab it. And as you're breathing out, rolling your weight down. Go nice and slowly before you come to land on the mat. Let your arms relax, your legs drift apart, or use your bolster underneath the knees. Or if none of that is pleasant for your back, step the feet down and let your knees fall in. You can tuck your shoulder blades slightly under, getting a bit more broadening to the upper chest. And then allow yourself to gradually sink into the shape. Sinking into the pleasure and challenge of stillness. The moment where nothing is moving anymore, we become aware how much our mind is moving. While there's something to do, the mind is following. Now, what is it following now? While you explore the stillness of Shavasana, I will share with you the card and maybe with that thought for today. The card is infinite blessing. Blessings flow to and from you, endlessly expanding in all directions, filling you with the healing light that guides you upon your blessed path. Rainbow light flows from your heart, creating infinite peace. For those of you who would like to remain in Shavasana, enjoy. For the others, begin to deepen your breath, start some movement. Maybe have a stretch. Or you come and join me in a seated position. Once you are seated, touch the hands together in front of your heart. Thumbs might lightly attach to the sternum. Keep yourself upright and tall. Come back to the idea of sitting centered. We'll finish our practice with an Om, followed by 3 Shantis, inviting even more peace. Let's inhale and exhale. Then inhaling again for the Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Now light bow towards your heart, cultivating peacefulness to share with each other as we gently bow. Namaste.